For nearly 10 years, Floid Black was on the market. It is a phenomenal scent. It's one of the great classic aftershaves from one of the great classic aftershave brands. But there's only one problem. It's not available anymore. It's been discontinued. And I know many of you thought about getting it. Maybe you had it in your cart at one point and now you're like, oh, I should have gotten the Floid. Yes, you should have. But I want you to know, I hear you and I'm here for you. Stay tuned for a fix. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I am your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And before we get into the content today, I want to remind you that this video is sponsored in part by our good friends at Leaf. You know I love the Leaf razor. I use it all the time on the dome. I love the twig and the thorn. If you would like to get 5% off your order, use discount code IAMCDB for 5% off. And don't forget to go check out the good folks at Leaf, if you please. Okay, before we talked about Floid Black and how now it's unobtainium because it's been discontinued. Well, I reached out to Douglas at PAA probably a couple of years ago, and recently he released Droid. Now I've used it once, but I had to use it again. I had to use it again because I just love it so much. And I hope other people will check this out and take advantage of it as well, because it really is based on what I think is one of the best classic aftershave scents. Now this was only around for 9 years, but it's just fantastic. And people say, well, if it was so good, why was it discontinued? Well, Floid Blue was good, and it was discontinued. So, you know, it's a great scent. Just trust me on that. And PAA was good enough to make this soap upon my request. It's now available. I will link it below, and this is just a phenomenal scent. It reminds me in vibe. It's sort of got a Creed Aventus vibe, but it's certainly not a dupe of Creed Aventus. We'll put the notes for you on the screen right there. And honestly, if I had read these notes early on before I bought Floid, I may not have bought it, but it's great. I love it, and PAA has nailed it. The scent is very true to Floid Black. So if you like Floid Black, this is a no-brainer. Just get it. Thank me later. Or thank me now if you want to in the comments. No, I'm kidding. Oh, what a great scent. Just fantastic. Scent strength right at that medium, slightly above medium level. There is a look of the soap if you're interested in the consistency. It's a little soft. I would like to see it a little more firm, but I had no problems lathering it. I'll go ahead and show you a picture of the lather or two right there. I had no problems whatsoever working with it. And typically you don't with PAA. It lathers quite easily. And let me tell you, I'm looking forward to this. Now the cost on this is this is the CK6 version, $24.95 for 5 ounces, or on a cost chart there, $4.99, which is a fair price. But I think it's available in CK1 as well, which will be an even better price. This is a vegan soap. We'll put the ingredients for you right there on the screen. And man, let me tell you, I had to use this one again because I just love it. And that's all there is to it. All right, so the razor for today is the Rex Ambassador, as you can see right there. And this is a very well-built razor. It's expensive, although I will tell you, it usually runs around $250 right now on Amazon as of the date of this recording, and I will link that below. It's $219. So if you've been considering getting one and you want to catch it on sale right now on Amazon, $219. Sometimes you can get it when Razor Emporium runs sales, maybe even cheaper than that. So that's something to consider as well. This is a very well-built adjustable razor. It is 2 pieces. You unscrew the bottom, top comes off. Well, let me hold that down while I unscrew it. You got to unscrew it far enough for it to come loose. And we're going to load it today with Gillette Silver Blue blades, which I like, but I haven't used for a while. They are double wrapped, as you can see there. The only thing I don't like about Gillette Silver Blue sometimes is, oh, this one doesn't appear to have a ton of glue on it. Well, it does have some glue bumps on it, but it didn't stick to the paper, so that's good. Sometimes the GSB, Gillette Silver Blue, can sort of stick to the paper and be a pain, but this one is not. And there we have it in the top cap, and you just put it back down and then screw it down. Now this razor is pretty efficient even on the 1 setting, that's where we shall start today. And one thing I like about this is it's pretty easy to see where your adjustment is on this razor, at least relative to the Tatara that I used the other day. Let me go ahead and whip up the lather because it's been sitting for a while. But it is a nice creamy lather and it smells great. I'm telling you folks, if you missed out on Floid Black, just get Droid Black. It is fantastic. I'm so glad Douglas and Fran finally got around to making it. It not only met, but exceeded my expectations. And I really loved it. By the way, I want to remind you while I'm whipping up my lather a little bit more, I'll put social media accounts right there. If you'd like to follow those accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, check me out, send me a message, and I'm happy to answer all the questions that I can. All right, let's get into the lathering today using the AP Shave Co. handcrafted series, and that is great stuff right there. Terrific sheen on this soap. Again, I'd like to see it a little more firm, if I'm being honest. And that is the thing with me. Always, you get absolute candor here. That's been a hallmark of my channel since day one. But I have to say, even though it's soft, it lathered easily. I didn't have to go back and add product 2 or 3 times. You know, for me, that's a deal killer in a soap, especially bowl lathering, like I mentioned yesterday or the day before. That's just not fun for me. But this one, PAA has always produced volume, I think, rather easily. And so we had no problems with this, and that is just nice. Wow, what a scent. I think this release, I definitely think you can consider it a hit. Many people have reached out to me and said, I got Floid Black. Thank you so much for letting me know about it. Thanks for asking Doug for it. I love it. You are welcome. And trust me, I wanted this for not only myself, but for everybody, because it is one of the scents that it is just right up my alley. Again, it's got the vibe of Creative Vintage. It just smells very nice, clean, fresh cologne, I guess I would call it. Lack of a better way of describing it. All right, let's get going here today with our ambassador. Very nice. And even on one, I'm telling you, on one, you probably get as much blade feel as the Tatara on setting 3. So that might be a drawback for some people. If you don't like blade feel, the Ambassador is one of those razors that even on its lower settings, it has a fair amount of blade feel. So, but for me, I like that. And I try to explain this from time to time, but I like blade feel because it helps me during the shave. So I can feel exactly how much I'm cutting. I can sort of feel the whiskers being removed. And it also lets me know, okay, I'm good there, move along, to not to overshave. What can happen with a mild razor sometimes, if it's too mild, you don't get blade feel. For some people, is you tend to overshave because you can't really feel it as much. So you have a tendency, some people, at least I do, have a tendency to continue to make strokes where it's not necessary. And that is the thing with traditional shaving. You want to do enough to get a nice, clean, comfortable shave, but you don't want to do too much to where you're irritated. And I find that blade feel really offers feedback that's extremely helpful, and that you can feel when the whiskers are being cut and you know sort of when to stop, and you will learn that over time. And when a razor lacks blade feel, it's kind of hard to figure out sometimes. You can't feel it as well. That's why they call it blade feel. Anyway, by the way, the razor, as you can see there, is rinsing nice and clean. So we've got good hydration in this lather. I really pushed the hydration in the lather today just to see what it would handle, and it did just fine with no problem. So I like to do that once in a while just to challenge the soap and go, soap, are you up to the task? It was. It's a man. If you're one of those folks where you missed out on Floid Black, you don't have to now, because Droid Black is here. It will be here. They will continue to make it. And I bet you, I haven't talked to Douglas since this release, but I'm betting this is selling very well. The good thing about PAA is he keeps stuff around other than the seasonals that he brings back each year. In his regular offerings, which I'm sure this will be a regular, he keeps them in stock. You don't have to go up there and worry about stuff being out of stock. You can get it if you want it. And so that I really like that model of business, whereas, you know, apart from the things that he announces as seasonals, like at 2, for example, that comes out in March, or some of the summer seasonals, his regular line is always available. And I don't recall very many times where I go there for a shaving soap or a splash and it's out of stock. And so I rather like that. I think that's awesome. And so if you want the Droid, it will be there for you. And I invite you to use the links that I have below. The one for this is an affiliate link, so it helps the channel if you use it, and I appreciate that always, of course. However, only buy the items that you're interested in buying always. Don't buy things just because other people buy them. If you're interested, go for it, and if not, don't. But this one, I think is worthy of a try, especially if you find yourself liking Creed Aventus, which is one of the most popular scents in the world, maybe the most popular. I'm going to guess you would like this if you like that. And if you don't like Creed Aventus, you may still like this because it's not exactly the same scent. So there's still a chance for you. I'm thinking of Glenn Helly when I say that, who has a good channel. Go check him out. I'll link his channel below. All right, let's get into it. And what I like to do a lot of times is just adjust as I go. So now we're going to move up to setting 3. I don't know if you can see that there. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to see. Anyway, setting 3. Oh, man. And I'm going to enjoy a nice 3-pass shave today. Very nice. Might go a little bit longer than usual, but that's okay. We're just treating ourselves today. And this does feel like a treat. Now on 3, you're really starting to get some efficiency from the Rex. And when it's opened up, you surely get a lot of efficiency. So I think for me, the only cautionary note I would make about the Rex, because it is very well built, Rex Ambassador that is, very well built. The only cautionary note would be there's blade feel on all settings. So just keep that in mind, but it is a terrific shaver. And I do enjoy using it. Very well built. I think it's based on the Gibbs adjustable, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But it's definitely a nice razor. It is, it's got an individual, or it's got a serial number on it, so you can see when it was made. It's using the Gillette date code system. Definitely a nice razor. It is pricey though. That would be, I guess, the other drawback. It's definitely pricey, and there's some other knockoffs, you know, like this. Since this one came out, I believe this one is made in the United States. So you're going to look for some quality there. You should expect good quality in the razor. Now, some people, I think I saw CB Shaves. I'll link his channel. I always try to link everyone's channel that I mentioned below. So look in those links because there's a lot of information there, including my social media and so on. Anyway, CB Shaves, I think, and again, don't quote me, but I think I saw him using the Pearl, and I think he preferred the Pearl over the Rex Ambassador. I have not used the Pearl because honestly, I just didn't have any need to. I already had the Ambassador, and so there just wasn't a compelling reason to use a razor it's not a dupe, but it's very similar. So for me, I didn't find a compelling reason to use the Pearl. Now, Matt Pisarcik has a video, and Matt runs Razor Emporium, and he will be on Real Talk, I don't know, in a month or so. So be on the lookout for that, Matt Pisarcik from Razor Emporium. But anyway, he made a video where he sort of broke down the Pearl and just, you know, showed some of the components versus the Rex. And I think he had an open mind when he was doing it, even though, you know, he sells the Rex. He sort of went through the razor and broke it down, took it apart, just showed, you know, how it was built relative to the Rex, which was very interesting. So go check that video out, if you please, on the Razor Emporium's YouTube page. He's definitely, one of the things about Matt, he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to razors, especially. And vintage razors. Okay, we're going to turn it all the way up and go just full on. And now we are at level 6. And it becomes quite efficient on level 6, as you might expect. Probably a little too blade feely for some people. That is okay. I have said this before, and I will say it again. It doesn't matter whatsoever to me whether you use mild razors, whether you use aggressive razors. The most important thing for me is that you're making good choices and using the razors that you like. So if you like a super mild razor, that is okay with me. I don't care for super mild razors. But If you do, I'm just happy you're making good choices for yourself and you're enjoying, traditional shaving. So don't feel compelled to buy super aggressive razors out of some sense of being macho. Just use what works best for you. It doesn't make you a real man to use a highly aggressive razor. It makes you a real man to understand what your needs are and to acquire things that meet those needs. So the chest pounding and all that about a razor being aggressive or using a straight razor or a shavette, there's not a lot of virtue in that. I prefer aggressive razors because of the blade feel. And again, for me, it gives me another level of feedback. That's why I do it. It has nothing to do with wanting to appear more advanced or anything else. Because when you're getting great shaves day in, day out, and you know what you need, you have learned what you need, you've learned to dial in your soap, your razors, you're advanced. You're advanced at that point, And you don't get any trophies for using aggressive stuff. So I like it because I like the way it feels. And I like the shave that it provides. But I can use a mild razor and get a great shave as well. I just have to be more careful because I can overshave by just doing too much. And I think this blade feel that the Rex offers on 6, I sort of know exactly how much to do without going too far because you can feel it, So that's why blade feel for me is helpful. You may not prefer it. It's okay. It's okay. Oh man, the soap is just... I talked a lot about this soap early on. All the praise that it's been getting is warranted. Pretty much everyone has liked it so far. And nothing makes me happier than that, to see you enjoying your shaves and gear. All right, let me rinse. We'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off cam we did a warm water rinse, remove the soap, and then we used our Razor Rock Travel Alum. No stinging there, so that was a super smooth shave. No nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, or troubles, and that's the way we like to do it here today. Following the alum, we did a cool water rinse, and then we toweled off with our Lancaster towel prior to applying the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Cucumber Witch Hazel. Excellent shave today with the Rex Ambassador, and I use settings 1, 3, and 5 with, where is the blade? There is the blade. The Gillette Silver Blue blade. And remember, this one right now on Amazon via the link below is $219, normally $250. So, check it out if you please. If you've been interested in getting an Ambassador, now might be a good time. We really, really, really enjoyed Droid Black. If you have always wanted the scent of this one, or you've used it all up and want to renew your supply, now you can get it in Droid Black and you can add the soap. It's awesome. I'm so glad that Douglas and Fran made this because I just absolutely love it. And so I wanted to let you guys know about it again. And honestly, quite frankly, I selfishly just wanted to use it again because it's just awesome. We're going to finish it out today with the Droid Splash. And a tip that I will give you all always is to pour your aftershaves from the back. And I learned this early on when aftershave labels weren't waterproof. The alcohol would run down the label and it would look terrible. And so I began pouring them out the back. And it's something that if you just want to make sure your label isn't, oh man, whew, I was in mid-thought and the Droid hit me and I'm like, whoo! So let's go again. Let's go again. This restrictor here, it's almost too restrictive now. So I don't know, but anyway, it is coming out, but I just wanted more. I wanted more. Who doesn't want more of the Droid? I mean, come on, it's fantastic. And we're going to finish it off with a little bit of the EDP below, and I'll remind you that I'll put a link to all the Droid products below. Just click that link and you'll go there, and those are affiliate links, so it does help the channel. And let's hit a couple of shots of that. Oh man, what a scent. What a scent. I'm telling you folks, if you want Floid, give it a go. I want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Until next time, I've been your host CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.